Hello everyone, this is Southern Belle Whisper. I hope you all are doing well today. This video is going to be like a little story time video, something about me that most of my subscribers might not know. So I thought it would be a fun little video. I didn't really plan to do this video, but I got myself up, I got myself dressed, I got myself looking halfway decent. I still haven't found Journey. It's been a week today. I'm trying not to focus too much on it. It's very unhealthy. My brother came over yesterday and he said, Kelly, try to focus on something that's going to take your mind off of Journey. So I told him about my job and he said, well, there you go. You're going to start working 5 days a week and you're not going to have time to focus on, things that are going on that give you grief. And he's right. Once I'm working, because when you're not working, all you can do is sit there and think, what happened to him, So I'll be very happy when I get back to work. But today, I really wanted to try to look halfway decent. And that is because this is going to be a little story time for you guys. I wasn't even planning to do this video until I realized what day it was today. I was just going to wait until tomorrow when I do my Bible study video. But I got myself up and I was like, okay, I want to do this for him. So the story starts. I was an 18-year-old and this show came out May 29th, 2009. And my mom had come from work that night, or the night after. It premiered on the 29th, and then the night after is when my mom came in and she was like, Kelly, this girl at work said she watched this new show last night on Fox and how good it was. So we decided to check it out that next, I think it came on Tuesdays. So I get off the bus. Yeah, I was still in school when I was 18. I graduated when I was 19. And we would watch this show. Every Tuesday night we would watch this show. And I loved it. I loved it from the very first episode when let me tell you guys what show I'm talking about first before I start describing it. That show is Glee. When that show came out and they sang that song, Don't Stop Believing, that's why to this day, Don't Stop Believing by Journey is my favorite song. And the show started right out talking about people not fitting in, people being different, people feeling like they have to be in something special to make them special. Like, I loved all the characters, Finn, Kurt, Rachel, let's see, I'm not a big Gwen fan. She kind of pissed me off a little bit. I don't like her. Man, but I'm missing somebody. Mercedes, Artie, is that his name? The boy in the wheelchair, Artie. And just so many great characters. The music, great. The boy candy, great. But the funny thing is, I never had a crush. I told you guys, at that point when I was 18, I was like ready to get in a serious relationship. But I never had a crush on Corey Monteith. He's the one that played Finn Hudson on Glee. But I respected him as a person, and I enjoyed watching him and Leah on screen, singing their songs together. I knew from the first episode, the first season, that first kiss, I knew. I was like, there's something going on there. You can't act that out. There's something definitely going on there. And so I was rooting for them through the whole thing. every season, and then they'd break up and then get back together and then break up and then get back together. And I was just like, when are they going to get their happy ending? And in April of 2013, I had bought a People magazine, and there was a little excerpt in the magazine that said Corey Monteith checks into rehab. Now, I had no idea. They kept it really covered up, his addiction. Like, I had no idea that he had a drug addiction. And that was really the first time that I ever had somebody that I cared about as a person, because I'm an empath. If I see somebody I enjoy acting or singing or whatever, I care about their well-being. I can't help it. I'm sorry. But I cared about him. And, the magazine went on about how he had a past of substance abuse and alcoholism. I was like, what? I never knew any of this. All I saw was the man that went and helped with the kids to give them like shoe boxes for Christmas and stuff. Like, that's the man that I saw that I really respected. And he was like an inspiration because he was such a good person. And it was one of those first instances, because I've always been told an addict is an addict, and you can't change them. They're going to have to change for themselves. But I got really because, I didn't know he had all those addictions when I read that in that magazine. But it was like, I cared about him despite that, despite his addictions. Because when you really, like with my friend that me and my ex took care of, you really get to know a person under their addiction. And it's really true when they say that you are not your addiction. It is true when they say that you are not your addiction. And it's true. It is so true. But, so April of 2013, I read that in the People magazine. And then in July 13th, 2013, that was when Corey Monteith passed away. But I found out the morning of July 14th, 2013. My niece had called my mama, and she obviously told her what was going on. And I was still sleeping. It was like 6 a.m. And my mom wakes me up, and the look on her face, she's still on the phone with my niece. And she said, "It's Corey." And I knew exactly who she was talking about. Even though I'd stopped watching Glee. I think I was like 21, 22. Yes, I was 22 years old when he passed. And by that point, I had given up on Glee. I watched it from season 1 to season 3, but then I stopped watching it. I just think Ryan Murphy got so lazy about the storyline. Like, they had Rachel go to New York, and her and Finn breaking up again, and him going into the army, and him kissing Emma in one episode. Emma was the fiance of the music teacher, Will Schuester. And I was like, why would you have him kiss her? Like, what are you thinking? They destroyed his character before he passed. I feel like if they had known that he was going to pass like he did, they wouldn't have did that storyline. They would have given us the happy ending we deserved, which was season 3, last episode. Finn and Rachel are together, have kids. Give us the happy ending that we didn't get in real life. I rooted for Corey Monteith and Leah Michelle from the very first episode, you guys. I could just tell there was something there. And when they got together in real life, I was like, yes! and I was so invested in their relationship. But I think she was really good for him throughout his addictions. She still stayed with him. She helped him in some way. But it's really true. You need to want to help yourself. Nobody else can help you. You just need to decide one day, is my addiction worth losing my family and the people that love me? Is it worth that? To chase that first high that I ever got? Because that's what it is. That, to me, is what addiction is. It's where you're chasing that first high that you ever got, whatever it is. And you're never going to get it, but you're still going to try. Yeah, and I do have I have an addiction. I have a marijuana addiction, and I've told you guys that. But considering the relationship I got out of and all the drugs that I've been around, I'm really surprised that I came out of that relationship with just a marijuana addiction. So I'm pretty damn proud of myself. But yeah, this is the anniversary, the 11-year anniversary of Corey Monteith's demise. That was a shock to my system, you guys. I cried for months and months. That broke me. Because I thought when I read that he was going to rehab, that he was going to be okay. I was like, okay, he's going to rehab, so he'll be okay. He got out of rehab in June and died in July. It's just so sad, you guys. He was such a good person. Like, I followed him on, all the social media platforms, and the things that he was doing to help the world in some way was really commendable. And he was actually, the Glee cast was actually on an episode of MasterChef. That was another show me and my mom used to really enjoy watching. But I remember seeing him on MasterChef. But yeah, I stopped watching Glee after season 3. They started really being stupid and not writing like they should. And then Corey Monteith passed away during the end of the 5th season. They were getting ready to film the 6th season. So it was the end of the 5th season. And they had to find out a way to do that quarterback episode. I think is the 6th season. I may be wrong though. And I wish they had told us in the show, but I understand a lot of teenagers were watching that show. But even though I knew what happened to him in real life, I think the way they said goodbye to him wasn't enough. The only heartbreaking part about that whole episode to me, actually 2 parts. The first one is when Leah, Rachel, sings Make You Feel My Love. Oh my gosh. And then the part at the end where everybody's looking for Finn's jacket. And you find out at the end that his music teacher stole his jacket. And he puts it to his face and he cries like a baby. And I couldn't understand in the 4th season Will and Finn had become such good friends. And then 4th season is like, oh, let me just get Finn to kiss Emma. Like, why would you do that? Why? That's when writers start ruining shows, you guys. But in honor of Corey Monteith, I wanted to do another top 10 because last night, you guys, I'm sorry, I was a little buzzed and was just trying to be funny. But I don't want you guys to worry about me. I've just been through some stressful things lately, but everything's gonna be okay. But yeah, last night's video wasn't my favorite. Waking up and watching that, I was like, what? Kelly, you're a mess. But this top 10 is going to be different. I've gotten a list of all my favorite Finn Hudson songs from Glee in honor of Corey Monteith. Speaking of teeth, sorry, I keep feeling like there's lipstick on my teeth. So, in honor of Corey, and as a thank you to him for changing my life in some way, because he wasn't the guy that everybody had a crush on in the show. I had a crush on I had a crush on Cordover Street. I think he was in the 3rd season. He was blonde and blue-eyed, and I had a huge crush on him. But when it came to Finn Hudson, Corey Monteith's character, I just really respected him, and I want him to be happy. That's why I want him and Leah to end up together, because I actually want him to be happy because of what he was doing on the sidelines to help people. I thought was really amazing. So in honor of him, I have written up another top 10, and this is going to be my favorite Finn Hudson, Corey Monteith songs from Glee. But we miss him every day. But I will post for him every year. I have done it for 11 years, and I'll probably never stop. Okay, so the first song that I love by him is Jesse's Girl. And everybody says that's probably why they named Rachel's boyfriend Jesse, just so Finn could sing that song. But there's, in the video, it's not just that. It feels real. And this is around the time that in real life, Leah Michelle was breaking up with her boyfriend so she could be with Corey Monteith. So you could feel, Corey Monteith, he was like Angus Cloud. He was a nobody. And he sent in a video of him using like plasticware and things you put like food in as drums, and that's all he sent, and the writers fell in love with him, and so he got his first start on the lead, which I thought is amazing. But Jesse's Girl, guys, there is something different about that song. He's drumming, he's looking at her, and just in his eyes you can see, I am freaking in love with this woman and I can't have her. And I think it's one of the best representations of right person, wrong time. He kills it with Jesse's Girl on those drums. Man, we just watched that last night, me and my mom, him singing Jesse's Girl. 2 is Pretending. This is one of the later songs, I think it was in season 3. This is when Finn and Rachel get together for the last time. For the last time. Get back together for the last time. And Finn writes a song for them that they can sing during nationals. And it's called Pretending, and it's a duet with Rachel and Michelle. And it's another example of how freaking crazy the chemistry was between Finn and Rachel, or Corey and Leah. Especially during that song when they're singing, will we ever have a happy ending? Or will we forever only be pretending? Like, I loved it. And everybody cheered during that episode, because at the very end, they're looking at each other, they're singing, and you're thinking, oh my gosh, they're about to kiss. But you're like, oh my gosh, if they kiss, they'll be disqualified. And then that last moment when their lips touch, you guys. And they turned all the noise off when the kiss happened. Like nothing, it was just the two of them. And how they filmed that scene was amazing. Season 3 is Just the Way You Are. When Finn Hudson sang it to Kurt Hummel, who had just became his stepbrother. This was in season 2. His mom falls in love with Kurt's dad. Sorry. And yeah, Finn really doesn't want this to happen. Kurt is described, he is one of my favorite characters of all time. I love Kurt Hummel. I love him. But he is described as being a man that prefers, or a boy that prefers men. And he has a huge crush on Finn. So of course he's excited that he's getting Finn's mother and his dad together. And then there's this really good scene. They're in the basement together, Kurt and Finn, and they have like a little, they live down there together, and then their parents live upstairs. And Kurt decorates it a certain way, because, he's, got good taste. And just Finn freaking just goes off on him and said, okay, then get rid of this faggy lamp and this faggy blanket. Like, he goes off on him. But Kurt's dad sees it, and he's like, that is my son. He said, Finn, I love your mom, but you can't live here if you're going to treat my son that way. I was like, yes, I love that. And then they actually end up getting married. Kurt's dad and Finn's mom get married right after that. And Finn sings and dances with Kurt to Just the Way You Are. And I thought that moment was so special. I do. Because, whatever way you're different, there are people that are going to judge you. But then there are people that say, be who you are. I'm just going to love who you are. And that's why I love him sing that song to Kurt. I thought it was really, really special. Number 4 is Hello, I Love You. This song, he was a little handsome, I'm not going to lie. He's walking down the hallway and he's singing that Gwen. God, I couldn't stand Gwen, his girlfriend. Oh my gosh, I could not stand her. I wouldn't have took her ass back after the first season when she got pregnant with his best friend's baby. Yeah. So I wouldn't have took her ass back anyways. But during this song, he loves her again, and she's with somebody else. The drama. I was young. I loved the drama. But yeah, I love that one. Number 5 is Keep Holding On. I love this song. I listened to it last night. They're singing, all of them together. Gwen just found out she's pregnant, and she tells Finn that it's his baby, and it's not. But during that time, before that, Finn and Rachel were getting a little bit closer and had shared a kiss and everything, but then Gwen's like, I'm pregnant. And then they're in the auditorium, nothing really is going on, there's no like beautiful lights or anything like that, but they're all dressed in white and they're singing Keep Holding On. Oh my gosh, I love that one. But my favorite part is the ending, where Rachel's on one side, Gwen is on the other. He looks at Rachel, he looks at Gwen, and then he holds both of their hands, but not to where either of them could see, that he was holding, what I'm saying, but he holds both their hands. And you guys, I don't know why that scene gets me so much, but it does. 6, this one should be higher on the list, considering it's my favorite song. The first time they ever sung Don't Stop Believing. Yeah, that should be higher on the list. So, let's say, okay, I'll switch Pretending and Don't Stop Believing. Don't Stop Believing should be number 2. Seriously. That's what show so special to me was that first time listening to them sing Don't Stop Believing. It was an experience. 7 is Pure Imagination. This song made me cry my eyes out. They are at Sue. Sue is the captain, no, not the captain, the coach of the Cheerios, which is a cheerleading squad. And she's really mean most of the time. But her sister dies, and her sister had Down syndrome. And her sister's favorite movie of all time was Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. So Will gets it to where the whole choir, the whole Glee Club sings Pure Imagination, and the whole funeral is decked out with like Willy Wonka, like chocolate bars and stuff. And then there's a part where Will and Sue have a moment, not like a romantic moment, but she grabs his hand, and it's so much because during the whole show she usually treated him like crap, but it was like, thank you, just saying thank you just by grabbing his hand. Thank you for giving this to my sister for me. I just, Number 8 is when him and Finn and Rachel are getting engaged, and Rachel's just trying to figure out if she wants to be engaged. And they do a duet singing I Just Can't Stop Loving You. And the end of that song, she was like, you're the love of my life. And he says, yes. And she was like, yes, I'll marry you. And then in real life, they were really engaged. Like, this is crazy. It blows my mind every time I talk about it. But I'm not a huge Michael Jackson fan, but I do love that song, sung by them, though. I just can't stop loving you. It's so good. Number 9 is Faithfully by Journey. I told you guys in an earlier video, Finn and Rachel had finally gotten together. I think it's the second season. They had finally gotten together for the first time, and they're standing behind the curtain, and Finn walks over to Rachel, and Rachel goes, break a leg, and he goes, I love you. Oh my gosh. Like, that was and then they sing Faithfully together. Oh my gosh, you guys. That's the best chemistry I've ever seen between two people. Ever. Like, you could tell they were so totally in love with each other, and I wish they had gotten more time. I really do. It's sad. It is, but I still listen to this music all the time. After this video, I'll probably end up listening to Glee songs after this video. Okay, number 10. Okay, this is the only part of season 4 that I liked. This is a duet between Will and Finn, and this is after Finn kisses Will's fiance. It's a duet, but it's a mashup. They're singing Bye 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 by NSYNC and I Want It That Way by Backstreet Boys. Holy moly, you guys. Holy moly. That was probably one of the best mashups I'd ever heard. And plus, your girl was an NSYNC and Backstreet Boys girl growing up, so that made me really happy that they mashed those two songs together. And you can just tell how pissed off Will is at Finn for kissing his fiance. And like I told you guys, I hate drugs. I really do. He had his whole life ahead of him. He had a good fiance, and I hate to say it this way, but he chose, I don't know, because I don't want to talk bad about him, because from what I saw, he was a great person. So I'm not going to talk bad about him and how he died. This is the 11-year anniversary for somebody that changed my life. So I'll just end this video by saying thank you, Corey. Thank you for being in a show that made me feel like I actually had friends when I didn't have many. I had Danielle and Alexis, but I always felt like I needed more friends. And I was dealing with bullies, and Glee was just the perfect show to premiere and change my life. So thank you, Corey, and we miss you. But I love you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow for the Bible study.